entertainment industry. Being a Formula One driver was my second choice, believe it or not. But before we go anywhere else, I'd just like to welcome everyone, and we're going to do our formalities. Allow me please to recognize and welcome our Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture, Minister Gayton McKenzie. Welcome, sir. And also, I was expecting Deputy Minister Pismani to be here already. She is not here yet. No, she's not. But let's give her a round of applause in absentia. I know she will be. And I would like to also acknowledge our acting premier, Mr. Roham Maile. He is here in our midst. And I'd like to recognize Motorsport SA Chairman, Mr. Anton Rue. I saw Mr. Anton Rue. Oh, there he is. Hello. And Motorsport SA CEO, Mr. Vic Maharaj. Right? Oh, wow. And Kailani CEO, Mr. Toby Fender as well. And Acting Director General, Dr. Cynthia Kumalo. And of course, all our special guests, I welcome you. Thank you for coming. And of course, our media, whom without you will not be able to broadcast, to announce, to say all the things that we want to say. So we acknowledge you and we appreciate all the hard work that you put forward. Thank you so much. Without any waste of time, I'm going to ask our Acting Director General, Dr. Cynthia Kumalo, to come and give us our welcoming remarks formally. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you very much, Program Director. You are becoming our resident Program Director. Might as well convert her into a resident Program Director Minister. As has been indicated, I'm the Acting DG, Dr. Kumalo, Cynthia, Stella, depending where you're sitting. Honorable Minister, and I'm emphasizing the honorable part, because if you follow what Minister says, you know what I'm talking about when I say Honorable Minister. Acting Premier, Lebofang Maile, and can I just observe protocol at this stage in accordance with what the Program Director has already outlined. It was less than 2 months ago, if I'm not mistaken, or around 2 months ago, when the Minister was making his 100 days press briefing, that he spoke about an intention. And today we are witnessing reality. And this is big, not just for the department, but this is big for the country, and it's big for Africa as a continent as well. So we are looking forward to hearing the names of the esteemed, experienced people that are going to be part of this steering committee that the Minister is going to be announcing later. As the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture, led by the Honorable Minister, we are just saying we are not removing that foot of the accelerator as yet. Just watch the space. This is just the beginning, so welcome everyone. Thank you very much to Kyalami for hosting us. And we are looking forward to South Africa, not just bidding, but winning. And everyone is just for the start. Thank you very much, Program Director, and please feel welcome, each and every one of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And before we carry on, just a few ground rules and house rules. The bathrooms are this side to my left, your right, not just behind, next to the desk over there. And please be reminded that this is a no smoking area. I haven't seen designated smoking areas. Are they outside? Through the sliding doors there. Fantastic. That's where we get our smoking break. But I know you're not going to need it because this is going to be such an electrifying session. You will not remember that you need a smoking break. That's what you do when you hang around Minister Gayton McKenzie. He is so electrifying. And on that note, I'd like to call the acting premier, Ntatele Mohammed, to come on stage, please. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Honorable Minister of Happiness, we must just rephrase the portfolio. It's too long. Sports, arts and culture, it's a lot of things. We must just say, in short, the Minister of Happiness. The Honorable Minister, Honorable Gayton McKenzie, the CEO of Kailami Racetrack, the Chairperson and CEO of the Motor Sport SA, distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, I am more than honored to welcome you all to this historic occasion on the announcement of Formula One Bid Steering Committee. But before I get ahead of myself, let me hasten to apologize on behalf of our Premier, Banyaza Lesufi, whom owing to circumstances beyond his control could not join us in this groundbreaking event today. Premier Lesufi, as you know, Minister, is equally convinced in the capability of our country and the province of Gauteng in particular to host any sporting events of international magnitude. And we understand that today is the process, and we will be bidding as Gauteng. I think I should explain that fact, working with the Kailami. In fact, this is not a misplaced optimism. It is evidence-based. The past 30 years of democratic dispensation in South Africa has seen our country host events of unprecedented scale. Most of these were events with which a stereotype view of African continent could have never been associated with our continent. Yet we did it, and with flying colors. In this regard, one is reminded of the historic hosting of the 2010 FIFA Soccer World Cup, amongst others. In the build-up to this historic event, many naysayers here and abroad went into overdrive, negatively energized and shooting down any prospect of an African nation such as South Africa welcoming scores of the world's people to our country during what is widely believed to be the biggest sporting competition in modern history. That we acquainted ourselves well is a matter of historical record. There is therefore no reason we cannot repeat the same feat on the Formula One front. Yet another uplifting fact is the knowledge that at any point our country has men and women of high caliber committed and dedicated to serving South Africa. As proven by the past bidding experience when South Africa had to present its case on the world stage or project its image. We have never been short of individuals fired up with the energies, armed with the necessary expertise, and grounded in the high-level experience to put across our case. We can expect the same, Minister, from the team that we will be announcing today. And ladies and gentlemen, through the Kailami Grand Prix circuit, South Africa emphatically demonstrated its sporting capabilities and infrastructural capacity for little more than 3 decades. Kailami Grand Prix circuit has been a world-class facility since 1961, when it first hosted the first race. We are well placed to draw on our experience and knowledge base to relaunch ourselves into the exciting world of Formula One race. We are under no illusion that such a larger-than-life sporting event requires massive modern infrastructure as well as logistical and financial support. More than anything, it is the will and the vision that will see us through. Indeed, where there is a will, there is a way, Honourable Minister. On a continental level, it will be a joyous day when South Africa finally earns the right to host Formula One, which has been noticeable by its absence since South Africa last hosted the event way back in 1993. Program Director report says there's about 75 million people who watch each Formula One race. That's such a blazing global publicity for any hosting nation. This will put both our country and province on the map. The spin-off is that such publicity will spark interest in the hosting country, which goes beyond just the sport itself. It is partly for this very reason that as the potential hosting province, Gauteng will continue to engage with Minister Gayton McKenzie and national government, and of course the team that you're going to unveil today, to bring Formula One here in anticipation of these enormous tourism benefits. We will also be collaborating with all our municipalities to ensure that economic benefits of this prestigious race are shared by all in the province. And I know sometimes we like to think like federal structures, when South Africa is a unitary structure. All the economic benefits that comes to South Africa, they might be coming through Western Cape, KZN, whatever, but they come into the South African economy. So when we bid for such, we need to collaborate and work together, because our infrastructure capabilities and strength must complement each other. So from the viewpoint of the Gauteng provincial government, having Formula One in our province will definitely help unlock some of the key dimensions of our socio-economic potential. For one thing, this will be extremely good news for tourism in South Africa, not just in Gauteng, because tourism continues to play a vital role in driving Gauteng's economic growth by attracting local and international visitors. Hosting Formula One will therefore revive the visitor economy in South Africa, serving as a reliable tourism draw card, boosting tourism demand as the single biggest international tourism arrival driver since 2010 FIFA World Cup. Other expected benefits for our province include the following: increased bed nights, increased visitor spend, increase in employment opportunities within the tourism and hospitality value chain, geographic spread of the visitor economy. The sheer scale of the Formula One aligns and support growing Gauteng Together 2020 objectives of increasing the visitor and investment opportunities in the destination, creating job opportunities. GGT 2030's Gauteng Province Action Plan to realize the objectives of the National Development Plan. It is also anticipated that it will catalyze various sectors' development and transformation in the sports, entertainment, hospitality, and automotive sectors, which includes manufacturing and engineering, with a dedicated focus on female African drivers and engineers. As you know, Honourable Minister, I'm responsible for both finance and economy in our province. So from the economic point of view, these are huge spin-offs for our economy as a country. Furthermore, it will stimulate local economic development, localization, and global brand positioning. With more than 70% of the race organization subcontracted annually to South African-based companies, the race would also, with no doubt, contribute to local economy. With this bidding process being successful, an opportunity exists to advance our economic goals while also reducing the challenging youth unemployment statistics, retooling our sector, skills base, and injecting new monies into the provincial economy. Ladies and gentlemen, this development presents South Africa with an opportunity to rebrand and occupy its position amongst nations of the world as a champion host and preferred destination for tourism, investment, trade, and home to a developmental and competitive sports and cultural circuit in the world. In this regard, the Gauteng provincial government is determined to bid for and host high-impact significant events in the categories of sports, arts, culture, to bring back the spirit of making Gauteng the destination of choice. We are a province with a great potential in the tourism states. By May 2024, our province stood out with a whopping 40.7 billion in tourism spending, commanding 50.7% of the total national tourism spending. As demonstrated, there is huge potential which can further snowball with a catalytic development such as the hosting of Formula One. Program Director, in conclusion, Formula One will serve as one of the mega events identified for Gauteng, as well as being the main feature of the national mega events calendar. I wish to reiterate that this really is an occasion which once again proves that there is a great, bright future for our country. One thing no one can take away from us is that South Africans are capable and always ready to take our destiny into our own hands. Despite the odds, we have never doubted our abilities to define the future our way. We remain steadfast in our confidence in the potential of our country to hold its own in the international arena. This is yet another such moment where we have come together as a country in order to bring to our shores one of the elite sporting events of modern times. It is going to take government, the business community, the racing sporting fraternity and civil society to build this momentum, ensuring that once again we show our mettle as a winning nation, not only in this tough bidding process, but as and when we win the bid, playing the most professional, internationally competitive host to this illustrious support. I wish you everything of the best in this faithful exercise, confident in the abilities of the men and women who are putting forth to drive this massive process. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That's amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, Osman, you're doing amazing, by the way. You are doing amazing at this side, so that other people can see that I also like it. And I'd just like to welcome our PM, Ms. Isma Rich. She has arrived. Let's give her a round of applause. And talking about Formula One, I think one of the most exciting things for me, the almost Formula One drivers, to be able to watch the races here in my time. I think the last race that we had here was in 1993, and then after that, am I correct? It was in 1993, and it has been 31 years. So can you imagine with the Formula One coming back to South Africa? And I don't say if it comes back, I believe it will win the bid. So when we host Formula One again, which is one of the most exciting things, I don't believe that soon we'll have amazing South African race drivers that are going to give the international market a run for their money. I know you've seen how South African people drive sometimes. You know how they steal those cars? Come on, you know what I'm talking about. You know what you know. And I believe they'll give them a run for their money. I think one of the last professional Formula One driver that we had who won a race, I think it was Jody Scheckter, and that was in 1979. I won't tell you how old I was then, but it was a long time ago. So we want to have not just Michael Schumacher, who obviously his record was broken by Lewis Hamilton, who just left Mercedes-Benz to go to Ferrari from one piece to another, and I hope we are supporting Lewis Hamilton. It doesn't matter where he goes. It's likely to see a black brother doing amazing things such as Formula One racing, where most people never thought that black people can actually crack that market, so we are excited for that. So I can't wait to see black South African race drivers, people of color in South Africa, cracking that market as well too. So without any waste of time,
We've got a bit of a presentation here that we have for you. Please just take your watch. Let's see.
The reason why we made it for more drive was because it's got a lot of speed in it. My car feels really powerful when I'm in it, but imagine being in a four-wheel car.
Here is the man they're all talking about because he is the new star of Formula One, Lewis Hamilton. Absolutely amazing performance.
It's all down to whether Glock can handle the rain. Hamilton is not going to get the championship right now.
Only a few corners to go now, and desperation starts to creep in for Lewis Hamilton.
Is that Glock? Is that Glock going so?
It is, it's Glock! Oh my goodness me! Hamilton's back in position again! Well, the Ferrari boys are celebrating. Ferrari are wrong. They're absolutely wrong. The father has just realised that he's celebrating a little bit too early. You will never see a more dramatic conclusion to any race, let alone the Grand Prix than that. Lewis Hamilton is the world champion.
Unbelievable.
He's going to try it again. Hamilton will again squeeze it over the white line. Oh my goodness, no touch, it's so close. Despite the best attempts of Lewis Hamilton wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton is the 2014 World Champion. Lewis Hamilton has won his third World Championship. All-time World Champion. It's high fives for Lewis Hamilton. He's got 6 to go. It's Lewis Hamilton, champion of the world.
If you believe in something, and it's an undeniable belief, then anything is possible.
He's found his groove, and now he finds himself alongside Michael Schumacher. The World Championship record is equalled. Lewis Hamilton is a 7-time champion of the world. For all the kids out there, your dream is possible.
I love what I do. And I know that I have something special within myself, and I know that I'm just going to tap into it. And I think that's how it is for everyone. We've all got something incredibly unique and special, and you just got to find that and hold on to it and nurture it and believe in it.
Records are there to be broken, said Michael Schumacher. The record is broken. Hamilton has more wins than any other driver in Formula One history. He came into this race as a gladiator. He finds the checkered flag as a centurion. Perez goes off the track, comes to the gate, goes to the track.
There's so many moments where I didn't think it would ever happen again.
8 times we've said it before. Here's a night for you. Lewis Hamilton wins the British Grand Prix. Today, Lewis. You're the man. He's the worst guy. Hamilton, in his final race for Mercedes, the race they say that every dream needs a team, well every team needs a dream, and the dream tonight was for Lewis Hamilton to charge through the field, and that is what he's done.
The important thing is just how you continue to get up, and you've got to continue to dig deep even when you feel like you're at the bottom of the barrel. My parents, when I see them around the world, they've been so supportive.
We definitely don't need more races. There's one more race we need, and that's going to be it. Yeah, we chatted about having a race in Miami, and the next one I've been talking about is South Africa, and that's what I'm pushing for in the background. So hopefully you'll see that come to light soon as well. And that's a real big dream for me to have raced in South Africa and in Africa during my career is a huge dream for me. So I know we have a big following out there. I have a big following out there, and I know a lot of people into Formula One now there. So I'm pushing as hard as I can. In the background, I'm going high up to make sure we have that race happen. Whilst I've been there before, it's the place I wanted to go more than anywhere. It's just It's not good enough that we're not in Africa.
Come on. Who would want to be in South Africa? We all want to be here. This is the place to be. And of course, the man who's going to make that happen, together with ladies and gentlemen, the Minister of Happiness. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all come on stage. The Honorable Minister of Sport and Culture, Minister Gayton McKenzie. Are we going to get 3 tickets?
This brown is gone.
No, for the purple.
I would like to welcome the Deputy Minister, Peace Male. I'd like to welcome the acting Premier. I would like to welcome the CEO and the Board of Motorsport SA. I would also like to welcome the President of Spin South Africa here. I would like to welcome Tony Venter, the owner of Galami. I would like to welcome everyone that's here, the Acting Director General. I would like to welcome the media. You are the most important people here today. We are here for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is to pay homage and to thank Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton has stood sometimes alone for many years in advocating and agitating for South Africa. People thought he's mad at times. He has never changed, and he said the Formula One should come to Africa. And today, Lewis Hamilton is not standing alone. He's got many drivers, many corporates, many people joining him in that call for Africa. So our bid is inspired by the resilience of Lewis Hamilton. Can we all give Lewis Hamilton a great hand of applause? And I see many of my friends and myself are conflicted with him joining Ferrari. I want to put it on record that I'm not conflicted. I go where Lewis Hamilton goes. I will be a Tifosi. Next year, I'll be wearing Ferrari. I will be ditching Mercedes. I'm following Lewis Hamilton. No man has ever fought so hard for us to host Formula One on African soil. And to Lewis Hamilton, thank you. Words cannot adequately describe our joy, our appreciation, our gratitude, and our admiration that we have for you as a person, as a driver, as an advocate. So to Lewis Hamilton, thank you very much. South Africa and Africa will be eternally grateful for the F1. And you've given us the courage to speak up. You've given us the courage to say, let's go for it. But we are going to give you a South Africa in return. In conclusion, Lewis Hamilton, you said you had a dream to race in South Africa again. I'm standing here to tell you, we will not rest until your dream comes to a realization that you will race again in South Africa. The second reason that we're here is for the world to know that we are going to bid for a race in South Africa. We want the world to know that South Africa is ready. South Africa has got one of the biggest communities in Africa of motorsport enthusiasts.
The biggest community of motorsport enthusiasts are in South Africa. South Africa has also got the biggest contingent of people that will go outside South Africa to go and watch Formula One in other countries. Many people talk about Rwanda. Whenever I go, people ask me, what about Rwanda? What do you say Rwanda is launching? Do you think Rwanda is going to get it? Do you think South Africa is going to get it? I want to address that matter today. It's not a zero-sum game. It doesn't need to be South Africa, it doesn't need to be Rwanda, one of the two. You just need to look at Formula One to know, we wish Rwanda well. We want Rwanda to get the Formula One. We want South Africa to get the Formula One. Why is it when it comes to Africa, we should be treated like we only can get one, while you have Europe that has 7? It can't be. It will never be. If you go to Europe, if you go Italy has 2 Formula One races. One country has 2, while a continent has nothing. We are the global south. We can't allow that. We must not be silent when we are being ill-treated. It cannot be that one country has 2 races and the whole continent does not have a race. It can't be. If you stand at Monza in Italy, you can take an Uber 5 kilometers in different directions. You can go to Imola, you can go to Monza, or you can go to Monaco. It's a 5-kilometer radius that has 3 F1s. And we in Africa, I am saying today that Africa's time is here. And not only South Africa, Rwanda's time is also here. South Africa's time is also here. We should not allow people to make us back and say, and we must speak against Rwanda's but. South Africa is a big country. Our GDP, I think, is 30 times bigger than Rwanda. So we have a responsibility to help Rwanda. We have a responsibility to help Rwanda because we've got the tracks, we've got the stuff. So we need to assist them instead of competing against them. Africa must be united when it comes against being disrespected. We need to form part. And there's a wrong perception where people are saying, and I want to dispel that today, where people are saying that the F1, prior to democracy in 1994, a lot of companies left in 1993 because they didn't agree with the new government. And many people put the F1 in that same basket. I came here to tell you that the F1, we've met with them. The F1 is eager to come to South Africa. I want to dispel that rumor. Mr. Stefano, the group CEO of F1, has always been available to help and assist South Africa. So people that say South Africa F1 does not want a democratic government, that's not true. What is true is the reason why we don't have an F1 here already. It's got nothing to do with F1, but it's got everything to do with South Africans. South Africans that have come here with the big egos. South Africans that want to make money out of F1. South Africans that are coming here and using their political connections. Provinces that are fighting each other and going to talk bad about each other by F1. Some people that think that holding an F1 is their birthright and not worrying about the country, but worrying about their pockets. As the Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture, want to make it clear today that we've been to the altar twice with F1. Never did we get married. And as the Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture, I'm here today to tell you that I have the rings, I have the dress, I have the suit, I have the lobola already ready. We are going to host the F1. time for egos is over. No person is bigger than the dream of Africa hosting the F1. No politician, including myself, is bigger. The President, His Excellency, Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa, in his great wisdom, appointed me as the Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture. And with the powers vested in me, I have the last say when it comes to F1. You can all run to F1. You can all try to have meetings with other politicians. You can all try to do that. I'm saying to you, it's an exercise in futility. Because F1 is very clear. For them to accept any bid, it needs was through the GNUs. So let us leave the egos. Let us leave the fact that we don't want each other. Every person is allowed to put their bid. That's why we're getting together here. That's why we have brought a group of esteemed South Africans together. People that are successful in their own right. We didn't only take motorsport South Africa, because this bit of F1 is so much bigger than just motorsport. We brought people from the broadcasting space. We brought people from the tourism space. We brought people from our history space and in our heritage. We've brought marketing people together. We brought business people together. Because this bit of F1 is much more. So much more than just a fast car. Don't look far. Let me make you an example. Ayrton Senna, the greatest name in racing. He sadly passed on in 1994. But what very few people know, what Ayrton Senna has done for tourism in Brazil is on the same level that what Pele has done for tourism in Brazil. Ayrton Senna died 30 years ago. The Ayrton Senna Institute has educated 15 million children up until today. That's motorsport. It is not just about the car. 15 million children today has an education because there was a man called Ayrton Senna. Moving closer to home, Kyalami, I want to really congratulate Toby Center, the owner of Kyalami, because the rules of F1 have changed. And as the rules change, so does Kyalami. Kyalami does upgrades. Kyalami is a privately owned track. But it gives us as government officials an answer when they say, do you have a track? We can say, yes, we have Kyalami. And for that, Toby, I take my hat off for you. And the bid today is not only open for Kyalami. If you want to take your bid, anyway, the bid committee will evaluate your bid. That's why we've brought together esteemed people. There's history. Jody Scheckter cannot be the only F1 driver for South Africa. And what many people don't know, there were 5 women that competed in F1. And the only one that won F1 is a lady called Desiree Wilson. She's a South African from Brakpan. Brakpan doesn't only have fighters, they have drivers also. And for people like Desiree Wilson, they've opened the path for women drivers. To motorsport, I see what you guys are doing. I respect what you guys are doing currently. But that's not enough. It falls far below enough for me. You are trying, but you need to try harder. Because the sport needs to become more inclusive. The sport needs to have more black women involved. The sport needs to have more people and children from the township involved. we should avoid making motorsport an elite sport. Many people say we can't afford a Formula One. What do you say to that, Minister? We can't afford a Formula One. Let me tell you what we can't afford. We can't afford not to have a Formula One. That's what we can't afford. We can't afford not to have a Formula One. The amount of people, 70 million people watching the game. It's not about the car. Let's take Baku. We are 5 times richer, or 5 times, our GDP is 5 times bigger than Azerbaijan, Baku. And Baku is fighting to keep the F1. Baku is having an F1 because Baku has realized what importance and what revenue, be it tourism, be it access to the sport by people that have been denied previously. And that's why they have an F1. Our GDP is 5 times bigger than Azerbaijan. Let me come to Hungary. Our GDP is twice the size of Hungary GDP. Hungary has an F1. They had 300,000 people at the race. 200,000 of those people came from outside. I am saying to you, South Africa has never been more ready. And it gives me great pride. Somebody made a comment, some journalist made a comment this morning. Yeah, but our president is not supporting F1 while the president of Rwanda. No, that's so far from the truth. In that whole cabinet, there's no one that supports me more when it comes to F1 than His Honorable President Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa. No one. He wants updates. He speaks to Lewis Hamilton. They are friends. That's a fun fact about our president I never knew. He's friends with Lewis Hamilton. And I know he's also going with me to Ferrari next year to follow his friends. So people should not, we must do things systematically. What is the next step? The next step is, today, we are going to announce the bid committee. That's the first step. I'm giving you the steps so there's no confusion. Today, we are announcing the bid committee. The bid committee will then give out the terms and references on how to apply. At the end of February, the bid committee will come back and say to government, we have found our promoter. We have checked everything. This promoter will not embarrass the country. This promoter will deliver the best F1. I love spinning. My friends in spinning, the reason why I can't be on the bid committee, my friend in spinning already says, no, but we must hold F1. We are like thinking, guys, we are still building spinning. Let's leave spinning. There's people that know things. So there will be no. I saw the acting premier with Lemwang Bai, very knowledgeable about racing. When he speaks, you hear that man knows what he's talking about. And he spoke so well until he came to Gauteng. Then he made sure that you know that Gauteng is going to put a bid in. But that's what he does because he's the first citizen now of Gauteng. But if you're from Western Cape, please put in your bid. People from Free State, that's Mr. Hartlief and them, you can put in your bid. I'm not going to, or the government is not going to decide who wins. It is the bid committee that will decide. Are we having a street race? Are we having a race at Karami? Are we having a race in Western Cape? Free State? So I wanted to make that point clear. That Karami is, for me, has history. Jody Scheckter, they asked Gunther, if you follow F1, you know who's Gunther. And Gunther was asked about South Africa and he spoke about Kalami. So I'm mentioning that to you, that you must know that government is now separating itself from the process until we get advice by the people that we've put together. I am inundated with people that want to bring money, that want to sponsor the F1 in South Africa. I was at Qatar, people of Motorola came to me, Heineken came, breweries, Supersport, everybody wants to get involved. So the money issue is the least of my worries. My worry has been sorted out already. Once the bid comes, so just before I digress, the 3 steps is, today we're announcing the bid committee. End of February, the bid committee must give us the promoter's name. We will then take that name to cabinet for concurrence and for permission on black and white to pull the trigger. Then we hand in our bid. We are looking at 2027. If we are lucky, 2026. If we are lucky. But we are looking at 2027 to host the F1 in South Africa. And we hear Morocco wants to also put a bid. Good for them. We will support them and share our expertise, as we are the country, the only country in Africa that has hosted already. So we have expertise. So if the America send the mayor of Atlanta to meet with me, to share in our expertise of hosting the 2010 World Cup, I felt so good that America is coming to ask us, can you give us some tips? So the African countries shouldn't be scared to come and ask us for tips, because we've done the F1 already. We don't want the fact we have got history with the F1, and we're going to share all our knowledge with fellow African countries. Some of them don't have tracks yet. We already have a track. They are welcome to come here and see how do you upgrade the track to that status. So we are not in competition with any African countries. We are best positioned than any African country to host the F1, and we are going to share our knowledge. In conclusion, South Africans should leave that mentality of thinking we are small. We are not small. I was in Brazil having an argument at the G20 regarding which World Cup was the best. It was the Russian guy, it was the Brazilian guy, it was an Argentinian guy. We were arguing which soccer World Cup was the best. It was a heated argument. I then said, okay, let me show you why we are the best. I called the waiter. There was 3 waiters. I called the first one. I said, can you give me a song of the World Cup that you remember in your life? They say, Waka Waka, yeah. I called 4 people, even the restaurant owner. I said, can you give the restaurant owner, they don't speak English. They have to translate to him, what am I asking you? I said, can you remember all who you were? He said he was in Brazil. He wasn't in South Africa. He said, I was in Brazil, I couldn't make South Africa. I said, but give us a song of the World Cup. He says, Waka Waka, eh. So South Africa has hosted the best soccer World Cup in the history of FIFA. We hosted the best soccer World Cup in the history of FIFA. And we are going to host the best Formula One in the history of Formula One. Our people know how to party. Our people know how to be welcoming. Our people know how to be hospitable. Those are all the hallmarks of a good effort. They will come here in the hundreds and thousands. There will be fan parks everywhere across this country. We will make sure that some of South African women are so beautiful, even some of the drivers will get married when they come here. South Africa is the greatest country. I'm telling you, you come to South Africa, it will never be the same as the World Cup. The Americans could have gone to Qatar, they could have gone to Russia. They came to us because they want to emulate what we as South Africans. So to you that complain about money, wait, we are making money for this country. In tourism, in brand power. So to everybody that's here today, thank you for coming out. And we are serious. As the minister, I'm telling you today that my term as a minister shall be a failure. It shall be a failure if I don't bring and lead the team to bring F1 to South Africa. I've already spoken to the president because I saw when I was in Qatar, I saw people saying to us, F1 said, no, the president of another country is coming here, that's how serious they are. No, the deputy president is coming. I said, no, I'm not bringing our honorable deputy president. I'm bringing them both, the deputy president and our president, and the minister of sport, and my force, the deputy minister, will be a four-man team. And now you can see it, the way the acting premier is smiling. I don't know will he still be acting by that time. I don't know will the Padala be back. But I think he can go as a +1. They have a very good relationship. So I think he will take him with. I will write a letter of motivation. In government, everything is a motivation. But thank you very much to Motorsport SA. I want to thank, particularly I want to thank Calvo. You know, when I was appointed, everybody was telling me, congratulations. Calvo of Multi-Choice called me, and all he said was, Minister, bring out the F1, please. And he has been doing a lot of work behind the scenes. I want to thank everyone, my team that put this together. Ziki, I want to thank the DG, everybody that was part of it, Marlies. You guys have really outdone yourself. I wanted it in Kalami. I wanted it this way. I want to thank you very, very much. And if I can just get a list of the names that we are going to appoint. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is Marlies. This is my PA, Marlies. And she's pregnant. Can I give her a hand? It's a premier. It's an inside joke. When she told the whole office she's pregnant, but she hasn't told me. When she eventually came to tell me, she said, Minister, I need you to tell you something, but you must tell no one. I said, what is that? I'm pregnant. I've introduced her to everybody to say, this is Marlies, she's pregnant. She wanted to meet the president. When I introduced the president, I said, President, she's pregnant. And today, Sarita's watching, Marlies is pregnant. Because why did she say, I mustn't tell no one? I'm telling everyone. I want to say that the people that we are mentioning, there's 5 people that is not here. They are already on holiday. But I need you the people to come forward that we are going to mention. Mr. Anton Roux, Chairperson of Motorsport. Please come forward, Anton Roux. Mr. Vic Maharaj, the CEO of Motorsport. Mr. Rendani Ramova is the CEO of Supersport. We have Mr. Stephen Watson, very a man that his knowledge of this sport is unparalleled. We've got Mr. Shane Water is present. Mli, where's Mli? Mr. Damase. Where's Mr. Damase? Oh yeah. You know the gentleman that was praised, everybody praised me with the rugby game in Ellis Park when we played against the All Blacks for helping to fix the trains was the Minister Barbara Clichy. That is the gentleman that gave myself and the dear the idea and the format. So, Lee, you see, I didn't take your idea. I'm not telling the people you are the one. We're now coming to the more prettier looking versions of this. Ms. Shani Lee Kruger. Ms. Tabile Wato. She does not need an introduction. And we are now bringing the chairperson of the bid steering committee, a woman that I headhunted to when I was called to become a minister, premier. I called her. I said, you gotta please come and help me because I don't know how to be a minister. And she said, no. I begged her, and eventually she said only for 100 days. I have successfully managed to keep her for 150 days. But I woke up one day and she said, I have to go now. I've taken you to your first 100 days. And I will forever be grateful. Somebody I have great respect for. Somebody that has made me look very good, not only as a minister, in everything I've ever done. Ms. Bakam Lituko. We have the members that are not here. Where's Mr. Timothy Harris? Has he arrived yet? Oh, Mr. Timothy Harris. Mr. Timothy Harris is one of the people that has built spinning to the force that they are now today. Spinning now is corporate sponsorship. Come through, Mr. Harris. The people that are not here, the three people that are not here is Gavin Verliches, Stephen is Gavin Verliches, Andrew Dan. They are the two people that's not here that are part of this board. Gavin Verliches and Andrew Dan, esteemed South Africans, they are not here, but they are part of this board. To the team that has been chosen, I am standing away from the process now. Nobody will tell you, no government official, no corporate. You guys will have the terms of reference with your experience of motorsport, of what needs to be done. The chairperson shall share with you what the document that F1 gave us of the do's and don'ts. Every member of this committee should have the do's and don'ts. The next time we will speak to you will be when you come and give us the names of the promoter. And as I said to you, as the Premier said, the Premier said they are best placed. You guys will decide, is the Premier right when he says Kalam is the home? You guys will decide that. If you feel Cape Town is the home, you will tell us. We've got full faith in you. Congratulations, and thank you very much for accepting this. Ladies and gentlemen, that's your team. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Where's the MC? Thank you very much. I'm calling the MC. You guys can be seated. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, and we will have a photo opportunity after this. So just to save time and to finish off, there will be a photo op to meet the committee that the minister has just announced. So ladies and gentlemen, before we move to our Q&A, I'm going to ask our Deputy Minister, Ms. Kisbabe, to come to the stage to give us a vote of thanks. But to Mupapatele Mato,
Hi. Thank you. Thank you very much, Program Director. I can see that members of the media are waiting to engage. Just 4 important things, quick important things from me. Like Zimbabweans, naming children after big events, Marlis, we're going to name your child F1. Minister McKenzie, thank you very much. The acting DDG, Dr. Cynthia Kumalo, we appreciate you. You know, she's acting, that's why everything is happening. So actors are very good. We like your acting stunt. It has definitely put sports, arts and culture in a map. Mr. Lebogang Maile, acting Premier of Gauteng. The Motorsport SA Chairman, Mr. Anton Roux. Motorsport SA Board Member, Ms. Daisy Abrams. Motorsport SA CEO, Mr. Vic Maharaj. Kayalani CEO, Mr. Toby Fentes, special guests, members of the media. Minister, indeed, South Africans are happy. And those who are saying it is not possible to host this event must bring solutions. Mr. Lewis Hamilton, I can only hear the team saying that your wish is your command. It is time for Africa, and it is possible that South Africa will host this event. It is also important, Minister, to highlight that the Cabinet will fully support the return of Formula One in South Africa. We don't see anyone objecting that in Cabinet. As you have mentioned, that the President is quite keen, and he's been making follow-ups on it. So, Cabinet will definitely. I would also like to extend my congratulations to the Formula One Bid Steering Committee as they embark on the critical task of coordinating efforts to ensure that all necessary requirements are met and that Mr. Lewis Hamilton's dream becomes a reality. Thank you very much, Minister, for your leadership, your resilience, and your decisiveness. Thank you, everyone, for attending this launch. Thank you. Africa Inago.
Thank you so much, DM. Now we're going to have Q&A, and I'm going to ask the Minister to come to the stage. And I'm going to ask Ms. Zimasa Velapi. There she is, in her colorful dress. Please, let's give her a round of applause. As they come up, she's going to explain to us how many rounds of questions we're going to take. We'll keep it short and sweet. I'm going to ask to request that in the questions, should someone ask a question that you already had, please let's not repeat questions so that we can save time. And I know we know this and we know the protocol of the Q&A. Before you ask your question, please introduce yourself and the media house that you are representing. And from then on, we also have microphones on the floor that you just raise your hand. But please, hold on, this is weak. Hold this, speak this. I want to tie this down. Continue.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for coming and grace this event today. Ever since the Minister announced the Formula One coming to South Africa in August, I know everyone has been wondering what is the next step. And today, as the Minister has mentioned, it is the revelation of the milestones that are going to follow. But also what I like the most, Minister, you spoke about a verdict that's coming. And us as media, whether straw basis, Minister forgot to mention us. So for the noble and everything that he has us as media, there's straw base to make sure that we give a whole hoo-ha around making sure that the Formula One comes to South Africa. As Ms. Turner has said, we are going to take 5 questions for the first round, and please do tell us the media house that you're coming from, and then we will get go to answers. So we will take 5 hands from the word road. So we'll start with you. We will start with you. With the second one. I've got 2 hands. Okay, and the third one, the fourth one. So we've got 4 hands for you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Minister. It's from the Citizen newspaper. I know you spoke about it earlier, but I just need a little bit more info with regards to it. Over the weekend, the President of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, actually spoke about having a definitely serious about hosting the F1, and you mentioned that, African continent needs to host the F1. I mean, I don't know how many other countries are going to bid for this particular race. So, what have we got? What's the edge that South Africa has got to edge out Rwanda, number one? And number two, there is an issue which you touched on very briefly with regards to Wakanda, that they have obviously raised issues about the whole bidding process. Will they be considered when the bidding committee takes into consideration all the bids that pass through?
The impact is Wakanda. Wakanda is the right, like 35 other people that has approached me to host. Everybody has a right. I mean, if you have a bid, that's why we've appointed the people. So Wakanda and everybody else, they have an equal chance as everybody else. There's no favoritism here. If you have a bid, you can put in your bid and it shall be evaluated fairly, constructively, and transparently. What does South Africa has that Rwanda doesn't have? What makes our bid special? We have a track. Let's start there. We have a track that money has already been allocated by the owners of the track to take us to F1 standard. It has been done by Apex. It has done other tracks. I think they've done the one in Miami, if I'm not mistaken. But I can't remember which one. But Apex did Miami. We have a track. We have a track record of hosting the F1. No country in Africa has a track. No country in Africa has the track record of hosting a F1. We are the biggest economy. We have the biggest motorsport enthusiast in South Africa. Our MSA, our Motorsport Association, is the biggest in Africa. I'm mentioning things that differentiate us from our fellow brothers. But we don't take that approach. We don't take the approach like we're the big brother. Yes, we have more money. Our economy is 30 times bigger than the Rwandan economy. We have more tourist attractions than any other country in Africa. More museums. We have the big 5, but that's not our approach. Our approach is approach to say, come, let's help each other so that we not get one F1 race. We want more races. But truth be told, no country in Africa can make a more compelling case to host the F1 than South Africa. Lastly, F1 now wants us to sign 10 years, no longer 5 years. And we are happy and we are eager. You must ask yourself, South Africa is a country where you can come 10 times to, can you really go 10 times to another country as a visitor? You can't. Thank you very much.
Thank you for everything, Minister. Good afternoon to everyone. I'm India Soccer Champion South Africa. I'm personally interested. And upon returning to South Africa, what plans or initiatives are being considered to involve and support local youth development programs who can keep creating a pipeline for young South African drivers and engineers and everyone else to get involved at the highest level?
It is impossible to host an F1 and not include local people. It is impossible, and the bird committee will put that very clear in the budget about LED, local economic development. But you see, what people don't understand, let's take the 2010 World Cup. Few people know F&B had a drought of international acts coming to F&B Stadium. We then held the World Cup at F&B. Between 2010 and today, we've had 52 megastars coming because of we hosted the Soccer World Cup. So I'm saying to you, hosting the F1 will bring MotoGP, it will bring kart racing, it will bring a lot of other stuff. South Africa is the one country everybody wants to visit in their lives. And I said to Motorsport South Africa in my speech, they are trying very hard, but I'm not happy so far. Because there's few black, female people in motorsport. We need to work on that. And because these are good people, we want them to build on that. I, as the minister, now the new people that will come in, like yourselves, will be empowered. F1 is, if you look Baku, when you look at F1, I never knew Baku's got such beautiful buildings, Azerbaijan. But F1 will cut away to the buildings. The streets are beautiful. So I'm saying to you, I will never allow that not to be empowerment of up-and-coming engineers, drivers. You know, the owner of Kalami told me a story. He went to an F1 race. I even think he went on a bicycle, if I'm not mistaken. But he was so inspired. And look at what the inspiration has done. So I'm saying to you, we are going to empower our people. Corporates are standing in line. Big events, you know, I listened to the controversial issue this weekend of Chris Brown. What few people don't know, 10,292 people had jobs during this concert. All hotels were fully booked. All restaurants were fully booked. The airplanes that came in from Namibia, the DM, the deputy minister, was telling me, she said, he called me. She said, Minister, I'm in the plane coming from Namibia, and the whole plane is full of people coming to watch Chris Brown. Now you bring Lando Norris, you bring Carlos Sainz. You already saying, you see, you bring all those drivers here. It will be a spectacle. Thank you. Number 3.
Good afternoon, Minister. It's Barry Gregory from Advocacy. According to import destinations from
Advocacy.
according to import destinations.com, the average ticket price for Formula 1 races is $498, which equates to roughly 8,000 rand how will you ensure that if one shouldn't come to South Africa, when it comes to South Africa, it will be accessible to all walks of people?
Alright, you said $498. Now, that's 10,000 rand a ticket, am I right? That's not true. I'll tell you why I'm saying it's not correct, not true, not correct. Because there were tickets. It depends on the amount of people going there. Qatar had 50,000 people attending the Qatar F1. Silverstone has 450,000 people attending. South Africa, let's take Kalami. Kalami currently takes 100,000 people. So the more people enter, the lower the ticket comes. But I'm going to say this to you. I was at Qatar. I was at Baku. South Africans there were everywhere. What we're going to do here, the tickets are going to be accessible to the man on the street. But VIP is going to be very, very, very expensive. We are going to tax the VIP people. We people that goes to the general tickets. And then you have the deputy minister and the premier and the DG. They'll go to the VIP. We are going to tax them to subsidize our tickets. I hope I've answered the question. Thank you. I wonder which team do you support?
Good afternoon, Minister Robin Holmes. Taking from the rich and giving to the
Amen.
My name is Mufef and I'm from Motozone TV, Africa's leading Formula One fan channel. So my question, yes, we see Kailami, it's almost raining, it's a grade 2 circuit. What about the city itself, for argument's sake? Let's say it was to happen here. We would need right? There's not even 1 5-star hotel. We don't have enough helipads, I think they need like 4. What's the plan from government to support developers in that regard? Whether it's here or Wakanda or Cape Town?
Right. A very good question. The G20 is the biggest happening in our country next year. Our president is taking the presidency of the G20. We expected so many big jets to land, and then made Cape Town. We couldn't go to Cape Town. There was not even enough landing space. Gauteng was the only province with enough landing space for the G20. The Premier of Gauteng and the acting Premier of Gauteng, both of them, in Kyalami, in a meeting, said they are going to make sure that they give maximum support. That for me is a very big thing. 5-star hotels, the average F1 supporter goes for between 3 and 5-star hotel. We have a lot of 5-star hotels, but now Airbnb has transformed how people stay. Some people have big houses that they're going to make money and they're going to sleep at a 1-star hotel for the weekend or for the week, and they can rent their houses out. If we can hold the Soccer World Cup, which is the biggest spectacle on earth, successfully for that, for a month, how can 3 days beat us? The F1, wherever it's going, we will make it work. Because we are South Africans. Ons maak 'n plan as daar nie 'n plan is. Thank you very much.
Hi, Minister. I'm Samuel Wessel, representing Transport. My question to you is, how will the steering committee collaborate with the private sector and local governments to fund and organize the event?
All right. The job of the steering committee is not to fund. The job of the steering committee is to look at the best funded bids. So, if I want to host an F1, I need to have support, firstly, of my province. Because I'm not going to support the bid in Cape Town, in the Western Cape, if the Premier of the Western Cape does not support the bid. I'm not going to say yes to a bid if the other arm of the state, which is province, the Premier says no, we're not going to support the bid. Because you can't hold the F1 without provincial and local and national. So, a promoter of F1, the promoting company, needs to have their ducks in a row. They need to have the sponsorship. They need to have the guarantees. Government will take out money. But government is part of the private sector and the promoter. So we don't want to get involved in the money issue. The bid committee will not say here's money. The bid committee will just say, you want to hold F1. Tell us how you're going to hold F1. Where are you going to hold F1? With what are you going to promote F1? With what? That's the most important one. Don't come and tell us I've got a letter from the bank of money. The bid committee will tell you, go to the bank and tell them to ring-fence this money, only for that. That's why we took, these people are way smarter than me. We took the smartest people we know to put in this bid. They are successful in their own right. They understand, they love the country. They will then brief us politicians because they're smarter than us. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Minister. Gayton from Africa. You referenced this particular trend quite a few times, and I understand that the committee is open to bids from other provinces. Does that, though, mean Kailani is realistically looking at the timeline, we're talking about 2027 and possibly 2026, realistically, is it the venue of choice? And if that's the case, into question number 2, I don't know if it's for you or for the how far is it from achieving grade 1 certification from the FIA?
All right, I'm going to with the friend answer the second question. Let me answer the first question. My friends, I was criticized once. Somebody said to me, you speak about jail. And when I listen to my friends, they speak about they passed where they were. Oh, I went to school in America. So my past is jail. So when I speak about my past, I reference my past. I can't reference something that's not there. Kailani is what I brag about. When I travel, they say, do you even have a track to host? I say, we have Kailani. But to answer your question, Kailani has given us dignity for the fact that we can say motorsport is a life in South Africa. Because if you don't have a track, where's your people racing? But you want to hold the biggest spectacle in motorsport. Kailani is testament that racing is a life and being taken serious in South Africa. There are street races. Baku, Monaco, these are street races. You can come with a proposal in Eastern Cape, in Free State, with a street race. But there's other considerations we will take. So for me, I don't have a preference as government. I shouldn't have a preference as government. As Gayton McKenzie, I do. But that's not important because it's not Gayton McKenzie's job. I'm the Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture / happiness. So I must bring happiness to even the people from Free State in one minute. So I hope that answers your question. I will please ask Mr. Fenter, can you please answer that question? Please come forward so that I can see you.
Thank you, everybody. Welcome to Kailani. As you all know, Kailani means my home. Thank you to the home of Kailani with its incredible history. Thank you, Minister, for an inspiring presentation. Premier, all relevant government officials and dignitaries, thank you very much. The question was, how far are we from the F1 status? 90% there without the fleet or doing. This is not my opinion. This is what Apex Circuit Design International accredited circuit designers, as you heard that headline in the tracks, we're 90% there. But the last 10% will be done next year. What is already been done is a plan, a detailed plan of what we have to do and how we have to do it. Kailani, as you all know, is a viable business entity in its own right without Formula 1. And it's very busy. So our job is to fit in the construction and not disrupt our business activities. But rest assured, by the end of next year, Kailani will be F1 certified. Thank you, Mr.
One last question. Who's paying for this?
We financing it ourselves, out of that pocket. But the important thing is, we've owned Kailani for 10 years. When we went to the auction to buy Kailani, things looked bleak. Kailani was going to be bought up by the developers, and we didn't know how we were going to save Kailani. Well, that was the first miracle. We saved Kailani, we were successful in the bid process, in the auction, it was a bankrupt auction. We bought Kailani, our big drop in, my place was falling apart. We first had to redo everything, and we had to find the money for that. We found a lot of money, and right now, Kailani has funds through the parent company, our property holding company. The amount of money is considerable. Even the bill for Apex has been paid already, and the construction will be financed internally. We're not going to ask anybody for a cent. We want Kailani to stand on its own feet and present its case like any other venue. But as the Minister says, this is our trump card. We've got something to prove. We've got a history of 21 Grand Prix here already. We've got all world champions have raced here. So that boosts us. And regardless of where the South African Grand Prix or the African Grand Prix is held, it's going to be a boost for the economy. It's going to boost the people. We have tremendous self-respect. It's going to take South Africa to where it should be. And the last thing I just wanted to add to support what the Minister says about Africa. Africa is the second largest continent in the world. Countries like the United States of America, China, India, and most of Europe fit into Africa. So 100% we can have more than one ground. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions?
This is from the citizen again. One of the things that's emerged in the last week or so was a Dutch Grand Prix that's going to be signing a 2-year contract until 2027. Is it realistic to say that when you mentioned either 2026 or 2027, that we may be taking the spot of the Dutch Grand Prix and leaving Max Verstappen in the dust?
I have no comment. On that one, I'm not going to answer that question. I just want to say it's a very good question, a very good observation, but this is where I stop. Thank you very much, Faisal.
I think we've got one last one.
Mr. Minister, thank you very much for the last Professor. Moving on, end of February, December holidays, January, when will the bid document be ready? Because people who want to bid are left with a very short window to get all their ducks in a row. So can the chairperson perhaps indicate when the bid document will be ready to distribute to people who would like to make a bid? Thank you.
Chairperson, you want to come forward? Just, you said she was disturbed, she was speaking to someone, please answer the question. Yeah, just ask the question again.
Sorry. We just want to know when the bid document will be ready, because if you want to assess it and evaluate and present to the minister by the end of February, I would imagine there have to be a closing date to assess the bids. I would imagine to assess, the minister says he's been approached by 35 people. I don't know how many of those will have money and capacity. I think it will dwindle down substantially. But I would imagine your closing date will have to be middle of February, which is really going to mean anybody who wants to go and get the premier support ready for the minister's indicator, plus all the financial supports, plus all the sponsorships and all of that. So my question is, when will the bid document be available to people like us that would like to make a bid?
Thank you very much. I think as a committee we just convene and then we will also just touch base with the minister probably before the end of the week and we will announce. Before the end of this week, we will.
Yes, I also think that the timeline, which is something I have to openly say here. You know, let's take a violin player. You can't just wake up today and be a violin player, no matter how talented you are. It takes time to become a violin player. This bid is not a bid to host any race. This is the premier race in motorsport. Any company that wants to host this bid should already have most of the stuff you're going to ask for. You can't wake up now and say, I'm going to host the Ferrari. You can host the one after 2036. But for this one, we need people that already knows what they're doing. They go to the computer, they say this, they write a letter to the premier. You should already have the infrastructure, the machinery. But you can't be a newbie. We can't risk the name of the country on somebody that his grandmother told him she dreamt he's going to host the F1. We must be serious people. This is a serious thing. It's not an easy thing. It is difficult. I would not have been able to host my companies before I became minister would not have been able to host the Kalami 9-hour race they have here. Because I'm not equipped yet. So we are looking for serious players. And I'm going to repeat that. I'm the one saying that it's not a bad committee. We need serious people. We need serious people that know what they're doing. The bank must know you. You must have. Those things must be in place. If you don't have money, don't even try. Because this thing costs money. This thing doesn't go as, hey, I'm part of Gayton McKenzie's political party. So maybe I'll have an advantage. There's no such things here. I hope, and then to answer your question, the bid committee is waiting for Charles to immediately today. Charles, let everybody just see you. Lift up your hand. Yeah, Charles is my advisor. Charles will then distribute to the bid committee. They will then send to the people and make everything available. Does that answer your question? But it needs to happen now before Christmas. So you can, Christmas, you must know where you stand already. Thank you. Exactly. You see, 11 Grand Prix. This is the type of people will talk to. So I can't talk to you because I'm not organized one yet. Me and Peace will do one 2036 after we've been reshuffled.
All right, Minister, Sasha Martinello from Mexico Racing. Number one, fantastic presentation. Your enthusiasm, your passion, I think is just the highlights for anyone who is so into the world of Formula One. And then also congratulations to the committee, the steering committee, with a tough job ahead, but something that is very, very important and something that we haven't seen before. So very, very exciting times and a short time back forward. My question is probably to you and to the steering committee as well. This is not a one-off. We're not building one Grand Prix. Of course, we're looking at Africa and we need one that had one, Morocco had one, South Africa had one. How many years are you anticipating to apply for Grand Prix? Let's say from 2027, are you looking at a 5-year plan with Formula One? And what is the mandate that's being given to the steering committee in that perspective?
Thank you very much. Sasha, firstly, let me congratulate you what you've done for motorsport, F1 in particular. For me, much of what I know, I've learned from you. And you're really one person that understands the sport. You've brought many people through your broadcasting skills and your knowledge to the game. So for that, I salute you. Thank you very much. When I sat down with F1, they said they are moving to a model of 10 years instead of 5 years. I said, well, I've got bad news for you. I didn't come for 5 years. I've come for 10 years. So after 10 years, you know, Italy will never jump off the calendar. Monaco will never jump off the calendar. Qatar will never jump off the calendar. South Africa will never jump off the calendar. Once we on, they're not going to get us out of there. Therefore, thank you very much. I hope that answers your question. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I also want to announce that Minister and the Bridge Committee will have one-on-ones after this. So if you still have any other questions, please wait for that. But thank you very much. I will hand over now. Minister can go have a seat.
Thank you.
Hand over to Minister.
Thank you so much, Ms. Massa. Thank you so much, Mr. Gayton. Before we go to that part of the one-on-one, we actually have a dynamite. They say dynamite having small packages. This is like a literal dynamite. She is going to come on stage to perform for us. She is amazing. She has performed in front of the president. And if you've never heard of the name Lily, today you get to meet her. So I'm going to welcome on stage Veneer C. and Lily so they can come and entertain us. Let's give her a round of applause. And take pictures with the and you want to look further down so you can see her. Please don't miss her. A round of applause for Lily. Lily, come on stage so you can see you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Lily. Head down. Yes, here we go. How are you, Lily?
I'm okay.
Tell us, how old are you?
I'm 7.
And how long have you been performing?
I don't know.
And are you going to perform for us today?
Yes.
And how do you feel about that?
Fine.
Are you excited?
Yes.
All right, do all the best. Good luck. Let's give Lily a round of applause. Let's see Lily. Thank you.
Greetings, wonderful people. Hands in the air. All I ask is one thing only.